Hi everyone. So I wanted to take a little bit of time to just go over the syllabus. Now, a lot of this we've actually discussed already, but just to go through the details. And this video, sometimes I update if I make major changes to the syllabus, but sometimes I don't. So some of the dates you might actually see might be wrong, but look at the most current syllabus and you'll get the information from there. First off, at the top of it, you see my contact information. Feel free, my office phone number is listed, but I actually prefer email or Twitter. I'm not very good about checking my voicemail, quite honestly. I'm much better at checking my email and my Twitter, so those are the best ways to reach out to me. Office hours are going to be 5 p.m. on Tuesdays at youtube.com/BillRand/live. If you send me any questions ahead of time by email or tweet, I'll try and answer them. If not, I'll answer any questions that I get live. And if I get nothing, I'll just kind of discuss a little bit about what's going on. It's not always going to last an hour, though, as a result of that. Required text, we talked about. Readings will be posted to Moodle. Those are the only required text, but the supplementary link to supplementary text is available for free online. It's a really good book. It basically covers most of the basics of digital marketing. Course objectives we went through in the other lecture, so I won't spend too much time here. And then here's a description of the actual schedule. And of course, this is subject to change. But we're going to start out with an overview of digital marketing and the history of digital and the internet. We'll talk a little bit about digital marketing strategy and research. We'll then get into and need to submit your preferred team members next week. We'll then get into social media. And the reason why we kind of do it this way, so we could either do analytics first or social media first, but I find it easier to kind of really put some of the analytics in concrete by first talking about social media. So we'll spend a couple of weeks talking about social media so we really have something to discuss when we get to the analytics. And then your first kind of assignment will be due at the beginning of February when you'll have to turn in the project introduction and the ungraded team contract. But the team contract is important for you as a team, so I know how to properly assess your peer evaluations later on in the class. And then the second week in February, you'll actually have your first individual assignment, which will be a conceptual or more theory-based assignment due at that point. And at that point, we'll start getting back into some of the channels of digital marketing. So in this case, we'll be talking about search engine optimization, search advertising. We'll then get into kind of our website experience and kind of discussing what's going on there. We'll actually talk about how to design and build your websites, right? And then at the end of February, you'll actually turn in your second assignment, which will be your situation analysis and marketing goals, before we start talking about how to actually write content for digital marketing. Right? There's a spring break, obviously, and then after the spring break, it's my chance to kind of sit down and kind of go over what you've turned in with your group already, and have a one-on-one feedback with the with the group, right? And you can ask me any questions at that point too. This year, from year to year, sometimes the spring break is just before, just after. Things change a little bit around here, but that's the rough order. And then you have your analytical assignment, which is your second individual assignment, which is due, that's the final individual assignment that you'll have for the class. This one's more numbers-based. That's why we call it the analytical assignment as opposed to the conceptual assignment. Finally, you'll have your last turn-in before the final turn-ins, which is the marketing tactics and implementation, when we're talking about online advertising, display advertising, and we'll get into email and mobile and video marketing. We'll end the class by kind of some advanced digital marketing, talk about some e-commerce setup and customer relationship management, those kind of things. And then the last week of the class will be when you turn in your final project presentation and you actually present to me your project. Okay. Grading, we already discussed this again. Again, 50% of your grade is from the group project, where 50% comes from individual projects. Letter grades are generally assigned on a standard NCSU distribution. All assignments are due by 11:55 p.m. on the date listed. Assignments turned in after the deadline will be assessed a late penalty of 5% points per day. For the team projects, you're going to self-organize into 4 to 5 person teams at the beginning of the semester, and then you're going to develop this digital marketing plan, and we'll get into more details about that. There's an entire document already up on the Moodle about it, and you can take a look at that. But you will share that project with me. It says with the class, but in general, that just means with me in this case, at the end of the semester. Your participation grade will be judged based on contributions to online discussions. I'm going to be using Top Hat again this year. If your Top Hat participation score is over 70%, then you'll receive full credit for participation. If you have any trouble signing up for Top Hat, let me know. We'll be using Moodle again. Everything is both distributed via Moodle and turned in via Moodle. Communication policy. I will do my absolute best to answer any questions within 24 hours of receiving them. If they're a high priority question, it never hurts to put something in the subject line indicating that to me. On weekends, give me at least 48 hours. I tend to spend most of my email hours are between around 10 o'clock and midnight, right? So that's most likely when you'll receive them from me. I put my daughters to bed and then I go and I answer an email. I will also be using email to set up any phone conversations, Skype, or face-to-face meetings. Again, you also will get emails from me on a weekly basis with details as well as the YouTube office hours. You're required in all cases to comply with the university policy on Code of Student Content. Your submission to Moodle of any assignment indicates that you've neither given nor received unauthorized aid on that assignment. If you have any issues turning things in online due to disabilities, please let me know and we will make accommodations for those appropriately, or if anything else in the class for that matter. We also promise, under standard non-discrimination policy of NC State, we will make sure that there is no discrimination that happens in any of the classes based upon race, color, religion, creed, sex, national origin, age, disability, veteran status, or sexual orientation, right? And so if you feel that any of that has become a problem or an issue in your group or in anything else, let me know or contact the Office of Equal Opportunity, right? In addition to that, in an effort to affirm and respect the identities of transgender students in the classroom, please contact me if you wish to be referred to using a name or pronouns other than that what is listed in the student directory. Finally, online class evaluations will be available the last 2 weeks of the semester, right, before finals. And so make sure you turn those in. I will remind you about those when we come closer to that deadline. I will also be doing my own evaluation that asks a bunch of questions independently of what's on there, just so I have some ideas about how to improve the class. And that will help me to help out your future student colleagues better. Okay? So that's the basic syllabus. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Take care.